Hey everyone, welcome back to another Death Wanted 2 video. I could have made a video about this like the other day, just regarding the fact that the Outpost Attacks are already out and everything. I could have made a video, but I made a video just the day before saying that Outpost Attacks were going to come out, and I feel like I've been talking a lot about Outpost Attacks recently, and I feel like you guys might be getting bored of it. So I just was like, you know what, I'm just going to enjoy it and see what happens. I wanted to make this video regarding my thoughts about it, because honestly all the videos I've been making recently have mostly just been about updates, you know, what's this, what's that, these changes that have been made, blah blah blah. But I want to start branching out a little bit, because I want to start doing more build videos, I want to start doing more tips, I want to start giving my thoughts on certain topics. I've always given my thoughts, but never made like a true video just talking about something that's happened. So I want to make a video regarding my thoughts on the Outpost Attacks, because it's the first content update. It took, you know, about a year, but we got a first content update. So I want to make a video just discussing it, because I've played them pretty extensively. I've probably played about 5, 6, 7 Outpost Attacks. I don't actually know, probably about 6, 5, I don't know. I've played about 5 of them by now. And I wanted to give my thoughts and my suggestions and, you know, everything I think, you know, is necessary, because there is a lot that can be said about them, because the launch was not perfect at all. Like, it was very bad. I don't blame Neil. It's just, it really was rough. It was really rough, because the Outpost Attacks came out and it was like, yep, the update's here, blah blah blah. And the main thing that irked me out at the very start was that Rooftops weren't in, which I'm going to touch on a bit later. But I was just like, hold on a minute, you know, like, what the hell? So I started playing and everything. I wait for the Outpost Attacks. Come 1 PM, no Outpost Attack. I'm just like, well, okay. I half expected it to happen, but I was like, well, that's shit. But he managed to start the Outpost Attack anyway. And then we went to Haverbrook, and we were about to take on the Outpost Attack, and no zombies whatsoever. It was a full lobby, no zombies were really appearing. There was like 1 or 2 here and there that would appear, but they just get slaughtered instantly. It was probably the easiest Outpost Attack I've ever played. To which he was like, oh, well, there's a bug with 8-player instances. So then he had to reduce the 8-player instances to 4-player instances, which fixed the problem. But then the performance was horrendous. I didn't notice it until I started doing the Greywood Outpost Attack that same day. But holy shit, the Outpost Attack like performance was, oh my Christ. I don't like using the term unplayable in a lot of things, but it was unplayable. What I justify as unplayable is frame rates below, like, I don't know, 20. Okay, that's what I consider unplayable. The game was running at a solid 50-60 FPS. That's not my computer, that's just how much, well, it is kind of a computer, but that's just how much was on the screen. So that was not a big deal. I mean, it messed with my input lag a little bit, but considering the circumstances of what was actually going on, I was able to look past that. But the stuttering, holy hell, man. It was so goddamn bad. It was like a stutter every, like, second. The lag on the stutter was just through the goddamn roof, to the point where if you're trying to aim at zombies' heads as they're running around and you're lagging like that, wasting ammo every 5 seconds because you can't actually hit them. It's so difficult with those stutters. So I was just like, well, bloody hell, this is impossible to play. That's what I considered unplayable. And then the next Outpost Attack I did was Haverbrook, and it was a little better. And there was a few different, and it was a little bit better here and there, and it didn't feel so shit. But it was still a little bit stuttery. And then I did a Greywood Outpost Attack like yesterday night, and it was still pretty freaking stuttery. So I have quite a lot of complaints regarding like bugs and stuff, but literally just as I started recording this, there was an announcement that's just been made. He's released like 2 bug fixes today. The first one is mainly just a bit of bug fixing here and there, and then the main update after that was a performance update to Outpost Attacks. Apparently the severe stuttering has been fixed. Obviously we can't test this until about 10 PM tonight, because that's when the next Outpost Attack is, but I will give it a go. And I'll see how it is. I'm thinking of maybe streaming later tonight some Outpost Attack stuff, and just streaming in general, because why not? So I might stream an Outpost Attack tonight, because I haven't really been streaming a lot the last couple of days. I've been dealing with a few little personal matters and things, so I've been pretty busy. Sorry if I'm really murmuring, by the way, my throat's all weird. So yeah, it was a terrible launch in my opinion, and that's not necessarily a disservice to Neil. Apparently he doesn't have a test server though, which again I'm going to get into all my suggestions and everything in a bit, but apparently he doesn't have a test server to really go through and test this stuff, which you really should have. In a game like this, you really want those kind of things, because you can't just let the player base just take it at face value when it's this buggy and expect them to think it's going to be amazing. And you know, you don't see AAA developers releasing content updates with like no testing. Of course, he tested them in his own probably private lobbies with a few friends. That's what I reckon, honestly, what went down. A few friends, a few testers and things. That's what I reckon went down. But it's not enough testing because, yeah, you release it to the widespread community and all of a sudden it's like, well, it's not working half the time. So it's like, Jesus Christ. But it's a lot smoother now. You know, the Outpost Attacks actually played when it was with 4 players and everything was really good. The siren in the background had music on as well. I had just like some really corny like Avengers music because it fit, you know. Just having some cool stuff in the background. It fit, you know, and I prefer the Outpost Attacks in Difference 2 to Difference 1, 100%. I never played the 2D Outpost Attacks, although I heard they were really good and pretty much the same as Difference 2. But in terms of 3D, this is 10 times better than 3D's Outpost Attack. I really, really like it. I'm disappointed that there's no rooftops, and this is what I was going to touch on, because he said the rooftops would be in, not necessarily on release, but he made an announcement the other day, and I think I did a video on it, basically saying that the core systems are all done, which, you know, implies that everything mechanically that you can do is done. That's the way I look at core things, because what he said after that, the only thing left is bug fixing. Where is it? The only thing left is bug fixing, polishing, testing, and balancing. So it implies that the rooftops would already be in there, which I was just like, well, why aren't they? I feel like he really rushed to get the update out, which I don't know why, because I wasn't seeing much pressure regarding releasing it. Like, compared to releasing the game itself, the game had a shit ton of pressure on it to release it as early as he could get it out. So I don't, you know, blame him in that regard, but I didn't see a lot of people just saying, oh, we need the Outpost Attacks, we need them now. Like, I was excited for it, I wanted to get them as soon as he said he would release them, but like, if he didn't announce a date, he could have genuinely just kept, you know, polishing it and going through it over the week. So you could have spent another week doing it and making sure it was fun and dandy, and then being like, yeah, I'm going to release it at this time. You know, I feel like it was just a very impromptu, just randomly early release date, and I think he should have taken some more time out to help test it. But I didn't want to base it on the bugs and everything. I didn't want to judge it off that. Now that we've actually got it somewhat stable, I haven't really tested it since the stutters, obviously, so I don't know. But now we've got it to a stable enough point to where it's actually not so bad anymore. You know, I genuinely do like the Outpost Attacks and the ideas for them. I think the rooftops would be really cool. It would help a lot of people with rifles, especially. But I genuinely think that I genuinely do like it, and I think there's a lot that can be said about it that really does strike as just, this is great, because it's something that we needed, a little bit of a distraction from the lack of content, just something to keep us going, and it definitely is. It's always a nice event. I always felt like Difference 2 is just so focused on the grind that it really needs something to just make it so that you can ignore the grind for like 20-30 minutes and just enjoy the experience of playing the game, which I feel the Outpost Attacks do pretty damn well, because there is a lot of, you know, even though it was a 4-player instance, and, you know, I was with a couple of people I don't really talk to that much. There was like I don't know how to pronounce the name, Evangelion, I don't know. You know, it felt like an actual team no matter what, and I mean, I had Mr. Bear in the Blackwidow way yesterday. That was quite fun. He was stealing all my kills, bastard. But it was a lot of fun, because it's like, well, you've just met these random people. They're all working together, and it's the coolest part about it is that it's all global. I've seen some people say that the Outpost Attacks being global is a really bad thing. I've seen people like perhaps Zero Life, for example, saying that they're really, you know, it's a terrible idea. I don't agree necessarily. I think it could be great. I think there's some stuff that needs to be changed, because there's a lot of people exploiting it, I reckon. There's a lot of people, and this you can genuinely sit in a solo lobby when the Outpost Attacks are happening and let every zombie attack the door, which affects the overall performance of everyone playing. So you can lose an Outpost Attack just because some assholes in a lobby just letting zombies attack the door. I've come up with a few ideas to stop this. Like, I had a few. Some to do with idling. Either have it so the player's standing still for too long and the zombies attack them, which that's easily exploitable, so I don't know. Or have it so that a player has to actually shoot a zombie. It's exploitable in many ways, but there needs to be something put in place to make it a little, like, to make it so they actually have to do something if they want their score to count, or for zombies to you know, attack the door. You know what I mean? They need to do something, because I'd imagine how horrifying it'd be, right? You're just sitting at the back of the map, you know, not doing anything, because you're like, yeah, just attack the door, yeah, ruin it for everyone, yeah. And all of a sudden, all the zombies just come back out of nowhere, because, like, you know what, this bitch isn't shooting me, let's just run after him and, you know, beat his ass. It's exploitable, and there's ways you could get around it, which is annoying, but some sort of system like that be put in place so it prevents people from just sitting there doing nothing all day would be quite nice. Would be really nice, I think. for Outpost Attacks. I don't think you just have to make them per lobby, because it doesn't feel like the whole community is working together then, and that's what the whole point of it is. So I don't think it should, you know, be taken away from global, because global makes it so much more tense and enjoyable, in my opinion. It just needs some tweak. Now, something that I feel needs to happen, because this is something that is genuinely making me question whether Outpost Attacks are worth even bothering with. It really does come down to the economical side of things, the leveling side of things, and the ammo side of things. I'm a shotgun build first. I don't know if I'm going to stick to shotguns. I might switch to SMGs and Prestige 4, I don't know. But I'm a shotgun user first, and I always stick to shotguns because I just prefer them. And they're, in my opinion, more economical compared to SMGs, and you can fit more ammo in your inventory, in my opinion. So I'm a shotgun player, but the ammo cost is very expensive. 12 gauge is around $300, $400 a piece. Which is quite expensive. I've got a lot of money in my bank, but seeing it going down is worrying, especially when I'm not, you know, spending that money, that ammo wisely. And that's the problem I've got with Outpost Attacks, because zombies give you more experience in Outpost Attacks. I don't know how much. I think it's like about double the experience they would normally give you. The problem is that they're not. There's more problems with this. The first problem, I think, is that even in a Greywood zone, they're not level 25 plus zombies, which means the experience they're giving you is not that big. Like, at all. It's really not enough to make it worth it, in my opinion. I'm personally on the field of just not thinking grinding zombies is even remotely worth it. I think bosses are 10 times more worth it for the amount of ammo you spend. Might be a tiny bit more risky, but I don't know. I think they're just the reward, in my opinion, heavily outweighs the risk or the reward you get from just grinding Coma and Sons. Or Coma and Sun, I don't know how to pronounce it. But the problem I have with this is that the zombies are giving you so little experience. Like, I had 600 rounds of 12 gauge. 600 shells when the Haverbrook attack happened yesterday, and I was there from start to finish, killed every zombie I could see. I think I went through 500 rounds, and from all of that I earned 9k experience, which may not sound bad to someone who's like level 10 or something, but I'm level 20, well, I'm level 21 now, but I was level 20 at the time. It was such a small dent in the amount of experience I needed, compared to the fact that the amount of ammo I spent. With all that ammo, I could have probably got myself about 40k experience from just killing bosses. So what I think needs to be happening here is either the zombies need to give you a shit ton more experience, or I think you should do something similar to Dead Frontier 1, where, you know, I had the idea of basically whatever experience you earn from the Outpost Attack, it should, in my opinion, double that bonus. That's kind of what I reckon. I think it should double the amount you get at the end. Like, for example, let's say it's triple, right, the amount. I think triple would be best. You earn 9k, and then you get 18k as a bonus, because it's triple the amount of what you get. It's not literally taking an extra 9k and making it bloody 27k, because that would be a bit much. But, you know, adding the 18k onto 9k, making it so you actually, out of the entire outpost of the 30 minutes, you get 27k experience. That, to me, is a lot more worth it than just getting 9k from shooting the zombie. And it would also mean that it doesn't mean that any player is just going to get a flat experience boost, just a flat experience gain just from, you know, being there. It means that you've actually got to work to get as much experience as you want, you know. Someone made a really good point. I think his name was Random Stuff in Discord, so there you go. Someone made a really good point, because you get buffs at the end of it if you win. You get like a 30% experience boost, a loot chance thing, and something else. I can't remember what it was. But the experience boost is probably the most, you know, most logical one there. But the experience boost comes when you beat an Outpost Attack, and it lasts for 2 hours, which is great in theory. But the problem is that you've just gone through that entire attack. You've wasted all that ammo. You don't really want to grab more ammo and go and kill bosses or zombies, just because it's an incredible amount of experience that you'd be getting from it, but you've just been tired out from grinding for 30 minutes to get no reward other than the bloody experience boost. You've gone through probably like $3,000 worth of ammo. You don't really want to keep spending more, you know. And he made a great point that what you could easily do, you could step in an Outpost Attack, shoot a zombie dead, and then just idle until it's all over, get the boost, and then go to Coma and Sons and make shit tons more money, more experience, out of the experience, because you literally, those zombies give you so much experience on their own. Adding an experience boost on top of that would be so much more worth it. And that is the problem. I think there needs to be some sort of flat experience bonus, depending on how many zombies you've killed or whatever, how much experience you've gained in the Outpost Attack. I think that's something that needs to happen, honestly, because it's not worth it leveling wise. I mean, I've already said the grind is a pain in the arse with Prestige, but it's kind of a waste of ammo just going to Outpost Attacks and doing that. As much as I enjoy the Outpost Attacks and everything, and it's fun for the experience, I feel there needs to be a seriously better reward. I don't believe on the flip side, because when you lose the Outpost Attack, you basically have your outpost overrun, and you can't turn in any missions, and zombies are actually in the outpost, which is really cool. I don't agree with the whole notion of, oh, it shouldn't be like that, because what if people want to turn in their missions? The problem I have is, obviously, if a level 1 comes into there and sees that it's been overrun, that's a little bit, that's a little bit like, well, what do I do? Where are the missions if they've just come in and they're like that? But that's a very particular scenario, and it only lasts an hour. I think there should be a notice board in the outpost or something. There's like a news board for that specific outpost that basically says, hey, yeah, zombies basically ate our ass and we're no longer here anymore. Something to give the player that notice of, oh, the outpost has been overrun, or perhaps something on the map that just says outpost overrun, come back in an hour, sort of thing, if you want to turn in missions. Just because it's a bit here and there right now, and I feel some people get confused a bit. But on that same point, I don't believe that it's a bad thing in concept. Again, I think it's fine. It's just one of those things that need a little bit of tweaking and a little bit of notoriety to the player to know that, hey, this has just happened. The Outpost Attack has overrun. You're not going to be able to turn in missions here for a little while. It's a very particular scenario, and I don't think it should be changed. I think, honestly, the way the Outpost Attacks have been designed is really good. It just needs a little bit of tweaking, and I think we need a bit more experience boost, a bit more of an experience bonus from working so hard, because it's ridiculous spending so much time and money to get little reward because the zombies just don't give much experience. That's the way I look at it, but hey, that's just me. Those are my thoughts really on Outpost Attacks as a whole. I'm going to be checking out the performance update later tonight. I'm looking forward to it, but let me know what you guys think. I'm sorry for a bit of a longer video, but I wanted to make a more longer, proper video about what I think. So I appreciate you all watching as always. I hope you have a good one, and yeah, I'm trying to think of something to say at the end. I don't really know, but yeah, hope you enjoy my little discussion video. Those are my suggestions if Neil happens to watch the video. I really like the Outpost Attacks. I think it's a great addition. Clans next, please. That'd be great. But I'll see you all next time, and have a good one.